Hey, what's going on there, guys? Nick here from Absolute MtG, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Magic the Gathering sealed product. The sealed product that we're going to be opening up here today is a Fat Pack of Theros. So these Fat Packs are really cool for players that want to spend money on Magic the Gathering but don't want to go like really deep on spending a ton of money and buying like booster boxes or anything like that. These Fat Packs are pretty awesome because you can get them for like 35 bucks, somewhere around there. Depending on where you're searching, like online, or where you're able to find it at your local hobby shop or anything like that. But you get 9 booster packs. You also get this cool storage box and some other awesome stuff that's going to be inside that we will take a look at here in a second. But yeah, it's definitely awesome for people that don't want to spend a ton of money on Magic but still want to get some packs and some cool stuff. So we're going to take a look at it here. We're going to open it up. And most importantly, we're going to be taking a look at the booster packs here as well, which I know is a large reason why people will go and try to search for like Fat Pack openings, is to actually see what we get inside of there. So the cover slides off, and it's actually going to come apart into a wall poster, which is pretty awesome. I'm not going to bother with unraveling it just for the sake of time, not to waste too much of your guys' time. We have some cardboard that we're going to get out of the way. It also comes with a player's guide that is going to talk about some of the cool cards in Theros. And it is also going to have a gallery of all the cards that are in there, and then at the end it's going to have a checklist as well. So there we go, there's the checklist. So it's a great way to be able to keep track of the cards that you pull out of Theros, and keep track, like, if you're trying to collect the entire set, of which cards you actually have and which ones you don't. And it also has holes punched in so you can put it into a binder as well. And now we're going to take a look at the box. So the box looks pretty sweet. Inside, there's some more cardboard that's going to get thrown off to the side. We have our packs. We have a spin down dice, or die, and we have a set of lands, just basic lands from the set. And we have 2 deck boxes. So this one has Elspeth and the other one has Xenagos, 2 of the planeswalkers from the set, which is cool. So whenever you fold these up, they are able to hold approximately 75 to 80 cards unsleeved. The only downside is that it's not going to fit sleeved cards in the box, but it's at least a nice way to be able to store your cards, or at least anything valuable. And then our Fat Pack looks pretty sweet with Elspeth on each side, Theros on the shorter ends, and it says Magic the Gathering on the top. So now that we have that out of the way, let's take a look at the packs. So we have our spin down die here with the Theros symbol. We have our packs there. We have our basic lands as soon as I get this open. And some more packs. Let's get all this out of the way. Just quickly glance at these basic lands that we have. So they're pretty cool. It's at least nice for players that don't have just a brick of lands yet for building decks or anything like that. It's nice to have that with a product like this. So we have a insert in here as well for how to play Magic. So if you are brand new to the game and don't know anything about it, it's a great thing to read over and to learn how to actually play the game. And now the part that everybody enjoys, it's the cracking of the packs. So we'll see just what we get inside of here. I've had really awesome Fat Packs for other sets, and then I've had like just really awful ones as well. So we'll see. We'll just kind of go slowly through the commons. We're not going to name off the commons. Then when we get to the uncommons, I'll read those off, and we'll talk about the rare or read off the rare. So we have Sea God's Revenge, we have Tormented Hero, we have Warrior's Lesson, and our rare is a Temple of Deceit. So it's a scry land, which is cool. It's a new aspect to Theros where they have these dual lands that have scry on top of them, and they tap for either one or another color to our mana pool. And then we have a Swamp and a Soldier token. So Scryland, just to start off these packs, is definitely really cool. This was actually a Scryland that I still needed to complete my playset, so pretty happy about that. And the flavor of this set is just really awesome. Aside from having cool cards in here, it is a very flavorful set. So we have Ordeal of Thassa, we have Nemesis of Mortals, Spellheart Chimera, and we have a Agent of the Fates, 3/2 for 3, Death Touch Heroic, and whenever we trigger off Heroic, we are going to force each opponent to sacrifice a creature. And we have a foil Daxos of Meletis, so that is awesome. It's another rare, and it's a foil rare, so it's a 2/2 for 3. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater, and whenever he deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library, you gain life equal to that card's converted mana cost, and until the end of the turn, you may cast that card as though... Or you may cast that card and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it. So Daxos is just nuts. It's such a fun card, especially if you're able to make him bigger than like a 2/2, and then you force your opponent to have to use chump blockers if they have any to block him, and trade off their creatures, but still with each one of those attacks being able to potentially gain life and being able to cast your opponent's cards that are exiled off the top is pretty cool. We'll keep this going here. So we have a Stone Shock Giant, we have Triton Fortune Hunter, we have a Arena Athlete, and we have Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx. So it taps for 1 generic mana to our mana pool, and for 2 mana tap, choose a color, add to your mana pool an amount of mana that color equal to your devotion to that color. Totally butchered the reading of that. Add to your mana pool an amount of mana of that color equal to your devotion to that color. So whenever you choose that color, like if you have a bunch of, like if you're building a deck that's like mono green or something like that, the more mana symbols you have, the more mana you're ultimately going to be able to provide off of Nykthos. So it's a pretty cool card whenever it comes to being able to ramp into other big creatures or big spells that you may have in your deck. It's definitely a really, it's a really fun card. It's a really cool legendary land that they put into this set. So let's see here. We have Ordeal of Perforos. We have Dauntless Onslaught, Flamespeaker Adept, and we have Night Howler. So it's a 3-cost enchantment creature with Bestow for 4, so we can attach it to a creature as a aura instead of the actual creature form, so we use it as like an enchantment. So Night Howler and enchanted creature each get +X, where X is the number of creature cards in all graveyards. And we have a foil Plains, so we have another foil. That's pretty cool. Get some of that more, there's more wrapper stuck to the table still. We'll keep this going. So 4 packs in, we still have 5 more. It's a great start already to this Fat Pack. And we have a Keepsake Gorgon. We have Chronicler of Heroes. We have a Witch's Eye and Spear of Heliod. So it's kind of like Glorious Anthem for you guys that have been around a little bit longer, except it's legendary. So creatures you control get +1/+1, and it's a 3-cost card, 1 generic and double white. And for 1 generic and double white, tap, destroy target creature that dealt damage to you this turn. So on top of having a card that can potentially destroy your opponent's creatures if they dealt damage to you for that 3 mana and the tap, it's also a Anthem effect for the creatures that you have on the battlefield. A lot of value in that card. Really, really fun to play. And what do we have here? We have another Sea God's Revenge. We have a Magma Jet, which is a pretty cool reprint for this set. We have Nylea's Emissary, and we have Hythonia the Cruel. So we have a Mythic. That's really awesome. So it's a 4/6 for 6, 4 generic and double black. It has Death Touch and Monsters 3 for 7, 6 generic and double black. Whenever it becomes monsters, destroy all non-Gorgon creatures. Really sweet card. Especially if, like, with Nykthos, if you're playing Nykthos, like, we already have 3 black rares that we pulled out of here, and, like, playing Nykthos, you can ramp into something like Hythonia really quick, so that's really awesome. And if you guys feel like purchasing a Fat Pack from online, there's going to be a link down in the description below to ABU Games where you guys can go and purchase one. So we have Perforos' Emissary. We have Favored Hoplite. We have Dark Betrayal. We can get some. There we go. There's the focus. And we have Arbor Colossus as a rare. So it's a 6/6 for 5, which is great. 2 generic, triple green, reach, and it has monsters 3 for 6, 3 generic and triple green. Whenever it becomes monsters, destroy target creature with flying and opponent controls. Really like this card. Just the fact that it's a 6/6 creature for 5. It also has reach, which makes it great. And its monstrous is pretty reasonable. It's monstrous 3 for just 6 mana. So the following turn after you play it, if you hit another land drop, assuming you play like turn 5, then you could go and use monsters the following turn and just make it a 9/9 creature, which is nuts. So a lot of cool stuff out of this Fat Pack so far. Really happy about it, actually. We have Chronicler of Heroes. We have Artisan's Sorrow. We have Coordinated Assault. And a Polis Crusher. 4/4 for 4. Trample, protection from enchantments. Monsters 3 for 6 mana. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, if it's monstrous, destroy target enchantment that player controls. Which is awesome. Being able to destroy any enchantments that your opponents have, whether they're making a creature bigger, or they have something like the Tension Sphere on one of your permanents, or something like that. Polis Crusher is awesome. And protection from enchantments also keeps them from, like, your opponent using, like, an Oblivion Ring, or the Tension Sphere, or something like that on him as well. So, that's always sweet. And he can't be blocked by gods because of that protection from enchantments. So we have a Kragma Warcaller. We have Karametra's Acolyte, Arena Athletes, and we have a Temple of Silence. So that's really sweet. Another one of the Scrylands. So we have the Temple of Deceit, and then we have the Temple of Silence. So it's the white-black Scryland, and whenever it enters the battlefield, scry 1, and it enters the battlefield tapped. So overall, I would have to say that this was actually a pretty awesome Fat Pack to have. We pulled a foiled Daxos, we pulled 2 of the Scrylands, and then we also got a Hythonia for our Mythic, and Polis Crusher, Arbor Colossus, and Spear of Heliod as just really, really awesome cards. All the cards in here are really cool, but those are like the things that really stand out to me as being really awesome. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this Fat Pack opening. If you feel like purchasing a Fat Pack, like I mentioned earlier, there's a link down in the description where you guys can find a link to abugames.com where you can purchase one. Remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Magic the Gathering content. And down in the comments below, share any experiences that you guys have with opening up your own Fat Packs, any cool pulls or any ridiculous stuff that you may have acquired through opening up a Fat Pack. Until next time, guys, peace out.